Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and this is Soul Trader, a space sim with a bit of a difference. Now this is an indie game, it's been created by a lone developer, and the difference with it is that it's all about people. It's all about the people you meet along the way, the relationships you build up, as well as the enemies you make. The game is set within the solar system, and here you can see I'm situated on Io, one of the moons of Jupiter. And these are all the places that you can actually visit when you're on the planet, or on the moon rather, in this case. So you just simply select a location and you choose visit. Here are all the people that are available, and you can actually talk with all of them and interact with them in various different ways. Of course, a space game wouldn't be anything without your spaceship, and you briefly saw my spaceship there at the port, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So when you first start out a new game, you're asked to choose your parents, and these will determine the sort of character and personality traits that you actually have as an individual. And in the end, get to customize your own character just a little bit before jumping into the game. And at that point, you're asked how you want to start out. You can start out without a ship and just be given a small sum of money, or you can start out with a ship and have even less money, I believe. If you do choose to start without a ship, just as I did here, then you will need to either borrow one or hire one. If you hire one, you have to pay a deposit up front, and there will also be a fixed daily fee for the use of the ship. On the way you get missions, you can see them under your deals tab here. This particular character has asked me to find some more information about someone specific, and I then have to track that person down and ask them a few questions until I get some information that is of valid use to the person who made their initial request. So travelling around then is very easy. You do this in the space screen, go into the port, board your ship, leave the planet, and here you are. This is where you'll find yourself. There's 2 levels to this. I'm zoomed right out currently, and you can just about barely make out the ship right in the centre of the screen there. And you can also, of course, zoom right in and get a close-up view of your ship. But if you do that, it makes it a little bit more difficult to track down these specific locations. Now, each area of space is linked together via jump gates. Go through one of these, and I'm about to go to the next area of space. In particular, right there, I want to go to Callisto. As you'd probably expect, the ship you start out with is very weak and doesn't have much in the way of anything really, and a little tiny pea shooter on it to boot. It doesn't have much cargo storage or anything else. Now, when you do finally purchase a ship that you can actually own, you can modify this ship. You can buy new modules for it and improve all the weapons. You can improve its hull, improve its cargo capacity, and various things like that. But that will take a little while to get there before you have enough money to actually be able to afford that. And as I come into the approach of Callisto there, you saw I was given a choice of which city to land at. Most planets have more than one, some have even more than 2. So going here, you can see these various locations. I'm trying to track down a particular character for this specific mission that I was on. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, tracking down characters can be very frustrating indeed. The way you go about it is visit any location, preferably a bar or a market, where a lot of people are, and then you can talk to these individuals and get information on your target. Ask them if they know the whereabouts of them, and if they do know, they will give you the last information that they had on this person, and that may no longer be valid, or you may well be valid. But essentially you have to keep doing this until eventually you manage to locate the individual, and sometimes, if you're fortunate, you just happen to bump into them either on a planet or in space. And this is actually a side effect of just how good the character system is in this game. The characters here are persistent, and they will go about their own lives, travelling from location to location within the cities, and even heading off into space and heading towards other planets. They all get up to their own activities, their own jobs, and various other things. In addition to that, all the characters have a relationship with each other. It's a vast, somewhat complicated tapestry, and you as a player are interwoven into all of this. As you make your way through the game, the characters will get to know you, they will remember you, and either get to like or dislike you. More than that, they will talk about you to the other characters. And this of course can either have a positive or a negative effect as they spread rumours, good information, or bad information about you. For example, if you miss a payment on a debt, that information could possibly spread and thus make you out less trustworthy to other people. Of course, you may not want to play a goody two-shoes either, so there is a criminal element here. As you move around space, you can go to certain planets where you may find criminal hideaways, and from here, you can take missions of a less savoury sort. So when I started the game, I began in the Jovian system. That's the moons of Jupiter. And there are many other areas in the game, but these are permit locked effectively, and you have to earn your way into them. And again, as you unlock more planets, this increases the size of the network of people that are available to you and the relationships that you can actually build. It's really these relationships that build the foundation of the game. Do you want to be the type of person that goes around helping other people out, or would you prefer to take the darker road and blackmail people with the knowledge and information you have gathered? As you can see from the video so far, the game is heavily menu driven, so do be aware of that fact. You're not going to get some sprawling and vast 3D epic, but what you are going to get is a game with quite a lot of depth to it, albeit one that seems to take quite a lot of time to actually unlock. One of the problems you may find, at least early on, is that the initial missions can be a little bit repetitive. An example of this is moving from A to B to ask characters about their secrets or for dirt on other people. But as your reputation and power base grows, you will get to unlock increasingly varied missions. But it's not all about missions. You can of course simply be a trader, and there's quite a nice trade system in here. As you fly around from planet to planet, you can check out the markets and see the commodities that are available. Different planets have different valued commodities. For example, Europa, being a moon with loads of oceans, has water available to it very cheaply. You can pick this up, take it to somewhere else, and sell it for a significant profit. And the same holds true for many of the other commodities within the game. So it's certainly a game that's going to take a lot of time to get into. Don't be fooled by the rather simplistic graphics or simple menu systems, because underneath all that, there's quite a lot of different complex systems. Having said that though, you may find yourself needing quite a bit of time and some significant patience to push yourself through the early stages of the game. So all in all, Soul Trader seems to be a game with a rather simplistic veneer, yet underneath that appears to have a fairly complex system going on. Now I haven't by any means covered everything available within Soul Trader, so I'll almost certainly be back later on to have a more in-depth look. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.